Okay, class, today we have multi 160 tests. Let me give you some words that come out on your speed building. You've got Dr. Kim, J.H. Kim, MD, Mr. Kaplan, Mr. Ellison, Mr. Larkin, Mr. Owen, petition, T's, is, Medi-Cal, and State Bar. So it's all colloquy, so you identify us as we speak. I am Mr. Ellison.
Mr. Kaplan,
The court.
Mr. Ellison.
Mr. Kaplan,
The court.
And this is going to be, it starts with Mr. Kaplan, identify us as we speak. 160 multi number 1 for 5 minutes. You all starts with Mr. Kaplan.
Your Honor, your order should also cover the $90,000 settlement from Dr. Kim.
Well, I would think that would be prorated the same.
Okay,
Is that check still not?
nothing has been paid.
Nothing has been cut.
No.
All right. We'll also cover J.H. Kim, MD. The $90,000 that was agreed in settlement would be paid. Likewise, you'll be entitled, Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Ellison, to a distribution of fees in the amount up to 60%. The remaining 40% shall be deposited in Mr. Ellison's trust account. Any claim for costs, Mr. Ellison, with respect to the settlement with J.H. Kim, MD?
Well, if the 35 is taken care of in the other situation,
All right. Then you can pay yourself all the costs that have been incurred from prosecuting the case against J.H. Kim, MD. $3,500, however, will apply to any costs claimed both in the Kim and the Lung case brought by Mr. Larkin and Mr. Owen.
One other problem should be covered. We have never been served with a copy of the petition for compromise of minors' claims. And I think it would be appropriate when, now apparently they're going to have to file a new petition. But when that's done, there should be a court order
Absolutely.
that we should be served.
I would agree. I would agree. That should be done. Who is going to do that?
I'll make sure that that's done, Your Honor.
Will you?
Yeah,
It has to be done. It may, because the case has been settled, and it was settled with me, just be crossing the T's and dotting the I's, but it has to be done. I wouldn't spend a great deal of time on it. Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Kaplan? You've been very helpful.
Nothing.
Mr. Ellison.
we have 2 other petitions on calendar, petition to marshal the assets that the probate attorney requested be prepared, and I would imagine the court is approving that.
I am approving it.
And the petition to exclude funds from the estate, that's required before the monies go into the special needs trust.
I'm approving that.
Just so that I have clarification, the 35,000 Medi-Cal lien,
45,
less than the 25%.
45 less 25?
Yes.
Okay, I misunderstood.
So approximately 35,000 is going into an interest-bearing account and going,
Go into your trust account.
right,
But it can be interest bearing. The interest can be earned by the estate
by the estate.
and not by the state bar.
Right,
So it would have to be a separate trust account.
It is still in the trust account, but it is separate account at the bank.
Not a state bar account.
No,
and the 40% and the $3,500, is that going to go into my regular state bar trust account with the state bar interest?
it is.
Okay,
I have no objection to that.
okay,
This is what the state bar likes to see done.
yes,
Anyone else have anything else?
no, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the 2 petitions on the compromise, are those approved today?
They're off calendar.
They're off calendar.
Also, is there any bond needed in this?
Yes, there is a bond needed. It's addressed in the,
The bond is for the total amount of the principal, and you know that.
yes,
If I need to say it, I'll say it. I'll order it. Put it in the order. It is also the annual income, the principal and the annual income.
that's correct.
I know.
It has to be deposited before the order is signed?
Yes, it has to be. And he knows it. You understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
No, Your Honor.
I think you covered it.
If there is anything I can do, And I mean, I will try to help Mr. Owen in getting this resolved. There is quite a laundry list of things that was claimed was done.
We still haven't heard what his claim for fees are economically. He hasn't put a figure on it.
I thought you were in our conversation today. Let me go off the record for a moment. I'm going to put on the record that I'm going to refer to a conversation that we had just prior to the court taking the bench. I'm off the record. We'll put that on the record. I didn't think that was at issue. I thought last time we talked about it, it was a separate item of costs and they're going to pay it.
Right. She
Okay, and we'll get ready for your next 160. You've got proper names: Camaro, Father's Day, Sammy, Highway 90, Mrs. Robbins, Mesilla Valley, Las Cruces, DWI, Dr. Flynn, Flint, Dr. Flynn, Meg, Mesilla Valley Hospital, and Mesilla. And it starts in the middle with question by Mr. Walker. Always Mr. Walker's witness unless you have Mr. Ryan speaking to the witness or Mr. Walker. I am Mr. Walker.
the witness,
Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Walker.
the witness,
Mr. Ryan.
And this is going to be 160, number 1, number 2, for 5 minutes. It starts with Mr. Walker asking the witness questions unless you have the other attorney, Mr. Ryan, speaking to either one of us. Starts with myself. Tell me about that car accident.
he had gotten a Camaro that was under my name and his. He was paying for the vehicle. He wanted to have something nice. And then one time, it was Father's Day, I remember, and he was coming early morning hours, around 6:30 in the morning from a party. And Sammy he had quite a bit to drink, so he was coming Highway 90, coming home, and he hit this pickup with a lady and a young girl.
Was anyone hurt?
Not really, sir. There were just bruises on the lady,
Do you remember her name?
Mrs. Robbins.
You don't remember a first name?
No, sir.
And her daughter?
I don't remember the girl's name.
She was not hurt?
No, sir.
What about Sammy? Was Sammy injured?
No, sir. Sammy was just hurt mentally wise.
What happened to the Camaro?
The Camaro was totaled.
Was it insured?
Yes, sir.
How was Sammy hurt mentally?
I had to take Sammy to Mesilla Valley because he got out of control pretty bad. He couldn't stop crying and he would get flashbacks. And he was just like very depressed. So I took him in to Mesilla Valley myself.
Into?
Mesilla Valley in Las Cruces.
Did you ever learn what caused this mental distress as a result of this accident?
He was very scared for what had happened, and he saw actually what he did because of his drinking. So it really got him pretty bad.
Was he arrested?
Yes, sir.
Was that his first DWI?
No, sir. I think there were 2 other ones.
So that was his third.
Yes, sir.
Did he do any jail time?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much?
Sammy was given 30 days for the first one and then 75 days on the other one because he was getting counseling.
So he did 105 days in jail
Yes, sir.
this time.
Yes, sir.
When you say he was given 30 days on the first one, you mean he was given an additional 30 days this time because of the previous DWI?
Well, he was given more time. He was given 60 days, but on good time. So he was given 30 days, and he was a trustee at the center.
Was he still on? Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
At the detention center. He was a trustee, and he was able to go to work and come back into the detention center.
We're just talking about right over here across the alley. right?
Yes, sir.
Was he still on probation from the previous DWI when this one occurred?
I don't understand.
You know, the first two he didn't go to jail on, right?
The second one he did.
Oh, he did?
Uh-huh. There was the 60 days he was given, but then just 30 days were given to him on good time.
So after he finished those 30 days, then he had this third DWI. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, when was this third one? Do you remember?
It was when he hit these people with his Camaro.
You say it was Father's Day?
Yes.
Do you remember whether it was 95, 96? When?
I think it was 95.
Don't guess now if you are not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was 95.
Do you remember seeing Dr. I don't know if it's Flynn or Flint, a woman?
Dr. Flynn.
Meg. Okay, you saw her in June of 97. Do you remember that?
I remember seeing her.
You told her that it had happened last year. The accident with your son had happened last year. At that time, you said that?
Okay, then it happened in 96.
Does that comport with your memory, though, having thought about it? Was it almost 2 years ago now?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you said that Sammy got really emotionally distressed, and I can't remember exactly what you said about leading up to you having to take him to Mesilla Valley Hospital. What was it that happened that let you know that he needed to go to Mesilla Valley Hospital?
He was crying a lot, sir, and shaking, and he just couldn't stop thinking about what had happened.
How long after the accident did you end up taking him down to Mesilla Valley?
It was a few days later after the accident because I kept calling to Mesilla and they couldn't arrange for hospitalization right away. So we had to wait 2 or 3 days before I took him in.
So this was before the jail time. Okay, you all, that concludes your test only. So have a great day. We'll reconvene next Monday with jury charge, okay? Have a great weekend.